remember the time in 8 Dock, when we had them little 30-weight containers for the cork boats. I was pulling one on, and I turned around to the lads. I said, "That's your cargo in the future." 30 years before containers come here.
You've suddenly found out now with this container that you've lost your job.
So everybody out of work.
Oh, you're all out of work.
After the invaded Egypt,
Once these millionaires and co took the cotton to India and them places, we used to load the cotton looms for India in this dock here, and we didn't realise what was going on till later on. It's too late then, they'd gone. All the looms to India, we were putting them in ships for them.
There was always that mythical threat about the canal company closing, but none of us ever took it in any shape or form serious.
Now this is, you may not realise it, a very special day today because it is in fact the Silver Jubilee of long service awards expressed in terms of years. It's more than the 25th presentation because once upon a time we used to have 2 presentations in the course of January. Now we only have 1. The total number of awards which have so far been made, short of today, is 1,490. So today we're going well over the 1,500 mark. That means in fact that the total number of awards are now in excess of the total number of people who are on the payroll of the company. That's another story.
We have a sound port business. The company still has a sound port business, but that business is the other side of Runcorn, from Runcorn down to Easton. We do not have a sound business above that, and we think that as a commercial navigation, the upper reaches of the Ship Canal are reaching the end of their day. Sorry to have to say that, but I don't think there's any doubt about that at all.
Lock competition were Latchford Locks. To collect the prize on behalf of that lock, Senior Lockmaster Al Hannon.
I feel a bit sad about it going like it has. It's been a good life on here. 40 years. There's nothing routine. It's just every day comes a different problem. Well, life was pretty good. It was, you fixed the ship in, and by the time you got rid of that one, there was another one waiting to come in. We was on the go all the time. Because the ships was coming in and going out, we was never stopped. But in a day, you could be dealing with, it varied. It could be 20, it could be 25, it could be a bit more, it could be a bit less. The ships are going bigger and bigger, and I can't see it in the future. Could have a future coast-wise. We'll have to wait and see.
How long does it take to use the entire canal to come up from Easton up to Manchester and back again? I mean,
well,
is this one of the reasons of...
Well, I think it must be one of the reasons, because the ordinary coaster, this is the halfway house, isn't it? Latchford Locks.
Yes.
So it's about 3 hours to Latchford, another 3 hours up the canal.
Yes.
It takes 7 hours with locking.
Because it takes you very little time to lock them through.
Oh, if everything's in working order, which it is at Latchford, it's 12 minutes for the big lock and 10 minutes for the small lock.
It was probably the greatest single Victorian piece of engineering that there is in the whole of this country. And of course it compares with, well, the Suez Canal and then with later with the Panama. In the design of the canal as it was finally passed, they had to bring it up to the level of Manchester, which meant that they had to build a sea lock at the eastern end and then 4 major series of locks up into the docks they were going to dig out. They had to deal with the river Weaver coming in. If you just let it flow in, would bring masses and masses of silt and everything. They had to take the Bridgewater Canal across at the Manchester end, and here you had a canal at a higher level, but not high enough for ships to go underneath. And then they had a number of roads, and in fact they dealt with the roads by swing bridges. There are 3 at Warrington, one quite near to us here at Latchford, and they built at the time 2 high-level bridges at 75 feet above the canal. It was the last major work to be done by navvies, by chaps with picks and shovels and wheelbarrows. But over and above that, they had an enormous amount of very good steam apparatus. They had steam excavators, I think 3 sorts of them. The other, I think, very serious thing they had to do was the building of the gates. The gate itself had to be built on site, on the place where it was going to be used. They liked the green heart, the very heavy wood from Demerara, which is so heavy that if you drop a gate into the water, it sinks. But they reckon that those were better than iron or steel.
Nothing of size comes up here anymore. The big ships stop at Stanlow, the shell tankers. Anything of size, the rest is only coastal traffic. And of course there's not a great deal of that goes up to Manchester anymore. They've shifted the scrap trade from Manchester docks, 8 docks, down to Thirlwell Park Wharf. There's very little indeed goes through Moldwell Lock into the dock system itself, only traffic that's perhaps going up to the dry dock.